Hello friends, myself R.Mogal from KTHM College, Nasik, Department of Computer Science. Today we will learn the evolutionary algorithms. First we will see some terminologies which are used in genetic algorithm. First terminology is what is individuals? Individuals is a single solution. Each solution is generally represented as a string of binary numbers known as chromosomes. Chromosomes means all living organism consists of cells and each cell there is a same set of chromosomes. Chromosomes are strings of DNA and consist of genes, blocks of DNA. Each gene encodes a trait. Traits means a distribution quality or characteristics, typically one belonging to a person. An individual is characterized by a set of parameters called genes. Here is representation of chromosomes. Chromosomes could be represented in bit strings using 0 and 1 binary numbers. Then chromosomes can be represented in real numbers by using real numbers. Then using permutations of elements. Okay. Then list of rules and program elements. Then second terminology used in genetic algorithm is genes. Genes are basic instruction for building a genetic algorithm. A gene may describe the possible solution to a problem without actually being the problem solution. A gene is a bit string of arbitrary length. The bit string is binary representation of number of intervals from a lower bound. Then allele. Allele means it is the value a gene takes for a particular chromosomes. Then next terminology used in genetic algorithm is genotype and phenotype. Genotype is the population in the computation space. In the computation space, the solutions are represented in a way which can be easily understood and manipulated using a computing system are called as genotype. And phenotype is the population in the actual real world solutions space in which solutions are represented in a way they are represented in real world situations. For simple problems, the phenotype and genotype spaces are the same. However, in most cases, the phenotype and genotype spaces are different. Then decoding and encoding process is to be done. Decoding is the process of transforming a solution from the genotype to the phenotype space, while encoding is a process of transforming from the phenotype to genotype space. Decoding should be fast as it is carried out repeatedly in a genetic algorithm during the fitness value calculation. Then next terminology is fitness function. The value assigned to an individual based on how far or near an individual is from the solution. Fitness function assigns the fitness value to the individual. Fitness function is defined over the genetic representation and measures the quality of the represented solution. A fitness function simply defined is a function which takes the solution as input and produces the suitability of the solution as the output. In some cases, the fitness function and the objective function may be the same, while in others it might be different based on the problem. Why fitness functions are used in genetic algorithms? Each solution is generally represented as a string of binary numbers known as chromosome. We have to test these solutions and come up with the best set of solutions to solve a given problem. Each solution, therefore, needs to be awarded a score to indicate how close it came to meeting the overall specification of the desired solution, and this score is generated by applying the fitness function to the test or results obtained from the tested solution. Then generic requirements of a fitness function. The fitness function should be clearly defined. The reader should be able to clearly understand how the fitness score is calculated. The fitness function should be implemented efficiently. If the fitness function becomes the bottleneck of the algorithm, then the overall efficiency of the genetic algorithm will be reduced. Then the fitness function should quantitatively measure how fit a given solution is in solving the problem, and the fitness function should generate intuitive results, means easy to use and understand the results. The best and worst candidates should have the best or worst score values. Then next terminology or next concept is population. Population means collection of individuals. It is a subset of all the possible solutions to the given problem. The population for genetic algorithm is analogous to the population for human beings, except that instead of human beings, we have candidate solutions representing human beings. Following are the two important aspects of population used in genetic algorithm. The initial population size and the population size. The population size will depend on the complexity of the problem. Ideally, the very first population should have a gene pool as large as possible in order to be able to explore the entire search space. All alleles of each should be present in the population. In most cases, to achieve this, the initial population is chosen randomly. Chromosome 1, chromosome 2, chromosome 3, chromosome 4 are nothing but population. This is the simple form of genetic algorithm. First step is start with a randomly generated population. Second step is calculate the fitness of each chromosome in the population. Third step is repeat the following step until n offsprings have been created. In that first step is select a pair of parent chromosomes. Then second step is cross over the pair at randomly chosen point to form two offsprings. Third step is mutate the two offspring at each locus. Then fourth step is replace the current population with new population, and step 5 is stop or go to step 2. This is the flowchart of genetic algorithm. The basic structure of genetic algorithm is we start with an initial population which may be generated at random. Select the parents from this population for mating. Then apply crossover and mutation operators on the parents to generate new offsprings. And finally, these offsprings replace the existing individuals in the population and the process repeats. In this way, genetic algorithms actually try to mimic the human evolution to the some context. In generation and selection process, it is able to compare each individual in the population. Selection is done by using the fitness function. Each chromosome has an associated value corresponding to the fitness of the solution it represents. Then the optimal solution is the one that optimizes the fitness function. Then next step is to make the population evolve. There is an iteration process. The steps are selection, reproduction, evaluation and replacement. First, create a random initial state. In this genetic algorithm, first step is create a random initial state. Second step is evaluate fitness. Third step is reproduce children. And fourth step is next generation. The encoding of chromosomes is the first step in solving the problem, and it depends entirely on the problem heavily. The process of representing the solution in the form of a string of bits that conveys the necessary information, just as in chromosome, and each gene controls a particular characteristics of the individual. Similarly, each bit in the string represents a characteristics of the solution. Here some types of encoding. First one is binary encoding. Most common methods of encoding. Chromosomes are string of ones and zeros and each position in the chromosome represents a particular characteristics of the problem. In second types of encoding is octal encoding. This type of encoding uses a string made up of octal numbers, that is 0 to 7. Then hexadecimal encoding, in that chromosome of strings made up of hexadecimals number in like 0 to 9 and A to F letters are included. Then permutation encoding. Permutation is an act of arranging the objects or numbers in order. In permutation encoding, each chromosome is a string of numbers representing numbers in a sequence. Each chromosome is essentially an arrangement or permutation of a set of genes. In the search space is the total number of possible permutations and the population is the current set of permutation. Values must not be repeated in a single chromosome. For example, given a set of genes A, B, C, D, E, then some possible chromosomes are chromosome 1, ABDCE, chromosome 2, DBCAE and chromosome 3, CBADE. This type of encoding is only really useful for problems dealing with ordering such as classic traveling salesman problem. Crossover and mutation operations on this kind of encoding must take care not to alter the chromosomes in an inconsistent fashion. Then value encoding. In this encoding, every chromosome is a string of some type of value, essentially anything from real numbers, strings or any kind of complicated object. This is a very general form of encoding and useful particularly when the problem values are difficult to capture in a binary encoding. Some simple examples are chromosome A 3.3245, this is the value, real numbers, and chromosome 2, the words are included. Value encoding is useful for certain specific problems such as determining the weights needed in a neural network architecture, and frequently this encoding will require some unique crossover and mutation methods specific to the particular values used in the problem. Then next type of encoding is tree encoding. Tree encoding is typically used to encode programs and expressions for genetic programming. And this encoding is typically a tree of objects that are interconnected in a specific orders. Frequently, the programming language Lisp is used as the representation, as the programs in a Lisp are easily represented as a trees and hence easily passed and crossover or mutation operations are relatively easy to perform. There is the example on the left is the formula a minus b plus 4 and encoded as a tree. This is the diagrammatically representation of what is exactly gene, what is chromosome and what is the population. The A1, A2, A3 and A4 are a tape-like structure and it is called as a chromosome, and the particular block of a chromosome is called as gene. In that value 0 is called as allele and together A1, A2, A3 of A4 are called as population. Today we see some biological concepts which are used in genetic algorithm. How genetic algorithms work means the flow chart of genetic algorithm. In next lecture we will discuss operators in genetic algorithms like selection, mutation, crossover. Thank you.